Hello everyone, Josh here with X's bringing you all another OUTERPLANE video, and today we're going to be talking about should we consider nerfing Tio. But before we get into that, definitely consider checking out our second channel, which you can find in a link in the description below, as well as the pinned comment. That channel is of course called X's Media, where we cover all sorts of gacha gaming news, gacha related content, guides, just general gameplay, release information, etc, etc. Definitely go check it out. We have covered so many games already, and we've been providing lots and lots of content. So consider checking it out because it really helps out X's here a ton and allows us to keep producing more and more content for you guys and gals between the two channels. But back to the meat and potatoes of today's video. Should we consider nerfing Tio? Now, the reason why this is even being discussed is she's been somewhat of a prominent figure throughout the game since literally CBT, like basically day one. This hero has been very, very powerful. But before we talk about, potentially nerfing her and why we should nerf her or why we shouldn't, let's actually break down her kit and stuff like that in case you are not familiar with what Tio can actually do if you are kind of new to the game. So let's go into our handy dandy notebook, aka the Pokédex, Codex, whatever you want to call it. Let's go down and find this beast of a unit. She is a 2-star hero, by the way, which is even crazier to think about how powerful she is, and she's only 2-star. So we have the girl here, Tio. Tio. Let's go and crank her stats and her upgrades all the way up. So her base attack is 655, her defense is 499, 4295 on health, 104 speed, 150 evasion, which will be very important to note when we talk about more information about her later on and why she could potentially be nerfed or not nerfed. I'll let you guys and gals decide for yourselves in the comment section below, and I will give, of course, my opinion on the matter in the video. So there we go. So that is her stats. Let's go ahead and look at her skills now. Simple self-defense. Now this is a turd. Yeah, it's a turd. It's a big giant turd. When she drops it down, it's about to stink up the place. Okay. So weakness gauge reduction 2 is not a turd. It is not a bad skill at all. It's very strong, in fact. Attacks an enemy and grants a barrier to the ally with the lowest health for 1 turn. The barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's max health. Basic first aid. Now this is where she starts to get a little bit insane. Okay, I don't want to say a little bit. I mean, this basically just makes her very powerful. So basic first aid, 2-turn cooldown. Passive effect prepares the agile response effect for every cooldown cycle of the skill. Removes 2 debuffs from all allies and recovers health by 30%. But wait, there's more. Because when we get to her exclusive equipment, you're going to see how much stronger this actually gets. This shot won't hurt. Her ultimate, which is also her burst ability, 3-turn cooldown, heals selected ally by 70%. That is a massive single target heal and increases the target's defense for 2 turns. On burst level 1, reduces this shot won't hurt cooldown by 2 turns, which basically almost resets it completely to where she's able to just keep spamming the ability. Increases target's action points by 75, which is also pretty big because that allows other units to use their burst as well, and gains immunity for 1 turn, which means they cannot be debuffed. So this hero, and we're not going to really talk about the chain passive because that's not quite as important as, the rest of the stuff that we've already covered. But long story short, she has a very strong kit. She's a very powerful and very capable healer. She's a good healer and support if you really think about it. She's able to cleanse debuffs, provide you with lots of healing, and even kind of supercharge, to an extent, your AP for some of your heroes, while also providing a barrier on her single target skill. I mean, this hero has so much versatility and value in her kit that she's good all over the place, and that's why if you look at her tier list, she's one of the higher rated heroes in the entire game, especially if you kind of, just talk about healers specifically. She's just a very incredibly gifted unit, and she's only a 2-star, which makes it to where a lot of players already have her built up to like 5 and even 6-star. So she is a very, very strong healer, very capable, as we said. But her exclusive equipment even takes her to another level, if you can believe that. Whew, alright, so let's go to mine, for example. Let's go to my Tio. Ignore my stats. My Tio is just built on spare parts at the moment, though she is rocking a resilience pretty hard because of one Nadia out there in the meta right now. But anyways, let's talk about her exclusive equipment real quick. I don't know why I want the trust level. I already have it equipped. Okay, so we have reduces earth damage taken 20%, and then the skill itself is when using basic first aid, which is her passive, increases the priority of all allies by 20%. So this makes her very, very powerful in both arena offense and defense, and she has basically remained in the meta since day one, and they have tried countless times to release units to take her out of the meta, but she always finds a way back in. And the reason why is not just solely on the fact that you can just build her slow as you want with lots of tanky stats like defense and HP, but she can also abuse other stats like evasion and resilience now as well. So even a unit like Nadia, which by all rights should have completely killed this unit off in the meta, didn't do so at all because people are starting to build their their TO like I am currently, where you're building her with lots and lots of resilience. Now I'm rocking a counter attack set on her as well to kind of keep spamming her skill 1, which will provide healing and barriers, which is insane. So you have that on top of the fact that she's gonna be giving you a priority push, cleansing your units, and you give her high resilience, and now units like Nadia are kind of just, for a lack of a better word, being cucked. They're absolutely being cucked. I know that's a naughty word, my bad. But we were talking about Nadia. But anyway, so yes, Tio having high resilience now just makes her maintain her position in the meta. And the reason why Tio is also going to be very powerful against some of these units that are supposed to supposedly take her out is those units have to be built in a way to be able to provide for you on arena offense to try and take her out on arena defense. The problem is the way Tio is developed, the way her skill set is managed, she does not have to go out of her way to use stats that she don't necessarily need, right? So you can build her with lots of HP, lots of defense, and you can do that with any set in the game, any gear set. So she doesn't need to rock a speed set. She don't even need counterattack set. She don't even need evasion set. She really doesn't need any of those sets. She can literally be used with any set of gear in the entire game as long as she has good HP and defense, and you run a certain necklace on her for either resilience or evasion. She's pretty much good to go at that point because of the way that she is developed. You don't need to go out of your way to try and grab additional stats to try and make her work one way or another. However, the units that are supposed to counter her, they do have to do that. So for Nadia, for example, which was supposed to be her main counter right now that we just got in the game a couple weeks back, the reason why that she failed to take Tio out is because Tio can just be ran with lots of high resilience, good HP and defense, and that's pretty much all you have to do because of the way that the stats are distributed on units like Tio being a healer. She's getting more of that, you know, resilience already at default. She's getting like what, 150, and then her evasion is also, I believe, 150 as well. So you can get you can kind of crank those stats up pretty good. And you know, HP and defense, those are just going to be there because those are also main stats on the set of gear, no matter what set you're rocking. Like with the helmet, for example, the boots, for example, the other couple pieces that provide defense as well. So it's like she's getting those stats no matter what, right? And then if you rock her with an HP or a defensive weapon, she's getting a big chunk of stats from that too. So again, you can rock her with any set of gear as long as you're rocking a specific necklace. She's going to be getting the value you need out of her stats. The rest of her is going to be carried by the skill sets being extremely powerful. Now, in case of Nadia, just to kind of reference her again and bring her back up, is Nadia, she's going to need lots of effectiveness. That way she can actually land the debuffs to kind of keep Tio in check. So you're going to need a lot of effectiveness. But if you run a lot of effectiveness, you're going to be losing a lot of speed. You're going to be losing a lot of crit rate, crit damage, attack. Because Nadia is a DPS that provides you with very usable debuffs. But the problem is those debuffs have to be able to land or be activated. And you're going to need effectiveness to do that and accuracy so you don't miss. Because the miss stat in this game, the evasion stat in this game is also completely broken because evasion takes away 75% of damage inflicted. You can't crit, and if you get a miss, you don't get to activate a debuff. It's absolutely mental. The evasion stat in this game is beyond broken. And unfortunately, Tio is one of those heroes that can greatly abuse the evasion stat and now abuse the resilience stat on top of that. On top of already having a very busted kit. So, in conclusion, Tio absolutely needs some form of nerf. I don't know how they would do it, but something needs to be done because they've tried and tried and tried to kill Tio in the meta, and this girl will not go away. She's almost like a phoenix. She just rises again and again and again and again. She's freaking immortal. Okay? She's an immovable object. She refuses to go down. She's freaking John Cena. She's kicking out at 3 every single time. And that's because she has a combination of one of the stronger exclusive equipments in the whole game, one of the best overall kits in the entire game, and the fact that she's only 2-star, so a lot of people already have her up to 5 or 6-star quite easily if you've been playing a long time here on the global release of the game. And her stat distribution works perfectly in her favor to work with any set of gear that you can imagine, because the gear set's not really important to her. It's just the actual base stats that you can get, and then whatever you get on your necklace. Like, that is all you need to do with her. So, you know, units like Nadia, that's expected to be that counter, just cannot be that counter, because if you build Nadia to completely counter Tio, Nadia's value to your team drops significantly to the point where you don't even run her anymore, because now you're gonna have to run her with high accuracy, high effectiveness, which means now she's not gonna be hitting as hard, which means your combos for cleave with her in the team is not gonna be all that beneficial. You're better off just running like a Siren in an Air, or a Siren in a Noah, or a Siren in a Rin. You're not gonna want to run Nadia anymore. And Nadia was designed to be a Tio counter, but she just cannot counter basically what I like to call in game freaking Tio the goddess, man. She is a freaking goddess in this game because of how powerful they made her, and seemingly she just can't be countered for some reason, because every time they try, they failed. So maybe it's time to finally consider, hey, she's only a 2-star, she's not a natural 3-star, so maybe it's time we consider looking into ways to potentially nerf her. And I don't really like to nerf too many units. I'd rather buff other units to kind of bring them up, you know, but I don't know what they're doing over there at OUTERPLANE. You know, the developers, they've been trying and trying and trying for months and months and months, between CBT all the way up to right now, current time and global launch. They just cannot seem to take Tio down. You know, just when you think she's down and out, she comes right back swinging harder than ever, because she can abuse resilience, she can abuse evasion, she can abuse her base stats, her skill set, her exclusive equipment, all together combined just makes for an incredibly powerful hero. And again, even if you still, you know, even if you want to get into the gear sets themselves, you know, you could run her on a counterattack set, you could put her on a speed set, you could put her on a full HP set, defensive set, a mix and match. Like, there's so many crazy things you could do with her, including evasion as well, to make her even more busted. But there's one more thing that also works in favor for Tio, because she is a healer. And that is the freaking, I don't think I actually have it on her at this time. I gotta see if I have it on my Siren. I don't remember who I put it on. I don't even know if my Siren's rocking gear right now. Well, she's not rocking gear. But which piece was it? It's not that one. I gotta see if I actually have it. Actually, I think it's a, I don't think it's a weapon. Actually, I think it's a necklace. I think I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Yeah, see, I got 114 resilience from one piece of gear. Like, that's absolute insanity. I gotta find where it was. I'm pretty sure it was a necklace. I could be wrong. Yeah, right here. Look at this. This is absolutely bonkers, right? So, has a 100% chance to resurrect and heal for 30% of max health when killed, activated once per battle. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. And it's very, very annoying to deal with, especially if you have Mine on defense and you have Tio on defense, and they're both rocking the same necklace with reincarnation on it, level 5. Like, that is absolutely insane on a hero like Tio. So, I don't know. I really, really don't know. They got to do something. They either got to nerf some of these weapons and accessories. They got to nerf the evasion stat. maybe, you know, bump up the effectiveness stat on some of these other units like Nadia to help, you know, best, you know, allow them to do what they need to do without kind of crippling them for damage. They got to do something with Tio because she's out of control right now. She's out of control. For a 2-star here to be this strong for this long, clearly there's something that's unbalanced in the game that we need to focus on and try to take care of. Maybe it's multiple things. So, I don't know. You guys and gals, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I believe we're just starting to ramble on now at this point. I think I got my idea across. I think I got my point across, rather. So again, let me know what y'all think about nerfing Tio. Should we nerf Tio? Should we buff some other units? Should we rework some of these stats, perhaps, so they're not as strong? Should there be some certain restrictions, maybe in Arena? I don't know. You guys and gals, let me know what y'all think about the whole situation in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tick notifications, and join us in the Discord in the description below, as always. And, of course, don't forget to, of course, follow us on Twitter at AxisMedia. Until next time, peace.